So the rest of my story, because this is, I'm sure, exciting to everybody. It probably is, right? It's this cartridge loading CD player. And what you do is it's this chunky frickin' 2-part box thing where it's like a tray inside a box. And then you throw your CD in there face down, and then there's no mechanical part. You shove the frickin' thing in there. It's like the CD player itself has this big slot, and you shove the whole thing in there, and it's like I'm saying this wrong. You push it so that the tray goes into the cartridge, and then the whole cartridge goes into the CD player. And it's just really chunky. I don't know if I've gotten that across yet, that it's super chunky, but it's really satisfying. It feels like it's the CD equivalent of like cocking a shotgun. I mean, like, you know your music is ready to go when you put your CD in there. I'll also like do a video of it or something. It's not perfect. Most of it works, but not everything on it works. And it's pretty good, but it kind of skips here and there. I thought maybe it was because my CDs were dirty, but it's not. It's sometimes it just decides it wants to start 20 seconds in to a song. I don't know why it does that, but it's just gonna get me if I go like there, yeah. So I gotta try and fix that. I'm gonna get like a CD cleaner. You know, one of those discs that has like the brush on it, and then do that. But here's the thing. So I said it was a 6-disc player, right? Well, when I'd hit the buttons, it's got it on the front, 1 through 6. If you hit those, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It doesn't acknowledge you or do anything. And so I'm like, well, what the heck? Is that broken? But then I realize, I'm thinking too advanced or too new, where it's like the carousel ones. Oh, good. Oh, boy. It's like those carousel ones from the 90s or whatever, where you load them all up one at a time, and like the CDs are, well, not one at a time. The carousel ones are where you have a carousel, and it's like a 5-disc slot on a tray that comes out, is what I'm trying to say. And you load them all in at once. But there's also the other kinds, like my car's CD player had it, where it's a 5-disc changer, and what you would do is you would load them one at a time, but it would hold all 6 in there. Well, this isn't like that. This is where you need a special cartridge that holds 6 discs, and you load them all in there like an 8-track, basically. And these apparently are not going to wait for me. And then you just shove it in there, and then when it's in there, then it plays them each from that cartridge. And I was like, God, this is so freaking cool. Of course, it didn't come with that. It only came with the single disc one. But I went and ordered, I think I ended up ordering like 3 or something. There was a deal on eBay where it was like $10 for 3 or 5 or something. So if anybody wants a couple of those, give me a shout out. I probably won't send them to you unless I know you, but maybe. Who knows? I only need the one. But so that's kind of neat. So I was kind of thinking about that, and it's like, I never made any mixtapes back in the day. Well, I don't know. I would just record stuff off the radio. I wouldn't say I made any mixtapes, but it's like what you could do is you could take the mixtape to a whole new level. Instead of having one, like your own custom album, you could have like your custom cartridge where you maybe get like 6 albums that are kind of the same, and then you shove them in there, and then it automatically goes through them, so it's kind of like a mix cart. I don't know. Either way, I'd never seen it. I was stoked. I also, good Lord, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I also, in celebration, went and bought 3 new speakers for my home surround sound, because I've been using speakers that I got, I think in 9th or 10th grade from my dad. They were part of like an all-in-one home box kind of all-in-one box home theater system. And that was the second one he'd given me, but it was still, from, 2001 or something like that. So I figured I probably need to update that. I had replaced a couple of them. I replaced the front ones with some big old floor-standing towers, which I just think look cool. And I have a sub that's pretty decent. But now it's like, now I've replaced my center channel now too. So I've got 5.1, the center channel, and the surround ones are nice Sony's high-resolution ones, and then the left and right channels up front are these Polk ones, which are kind of cool. So that's neat. And now this, I've got the record player and I've got the CD player, and they sound real nice to them. So the second part, I guess I was gonna fucking A. I jumped. Second part I was gonna say is that I went and bought the record player the day, I think it was the day after, because I bought the, I don't even know how to get back home again here. I think can we go the other way? You're gonna watch me run around for a while. I bought the CD player, I think day 1, then I bought speakers day 2, and then I bought the record player day 3. This is like over the weekend. I think it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's Tuesday today. So I'm like, yeah, the record player would be kind of cool. I was a little bit hesitant about that because I bought the CD player because I love CDs. Like I said, that's like my thing. I really enjoyed them growing up. Where records, I didn't. I get that records are kind of the same thing to some people, but they aren't to me. They're just, I don't care. I like CDs. Seriously! I'm hitting the button. I hope that airship's got frequent flyer miles or a good gas tank or something. So about the record player, kind of going into it thinking that it's like, well, I'll buy it, but I'm not going to buy it for nostalgia purposes, whatever. And then I was pleasantly surprised because there's a whole bunch of stuff you can buy, a whole bunch of albums that you can buy that are, I don't care, we're going to fucking cheat our way through this, that are like special editions that you don't get on CDs. So what I bought when I went in there, I've been picking up records here and there too, just because, like, I've got a Soundgarden copy of Ultra Mega OK I keep around because it looks cool. And I like Soundgarden a lot. It's kind of an inspirational thing. And then I picked up a limited run of Space Echo, one of their albums where it's numbered, like hand numbered and all that, so that was kind of neat. And I've got, my brother bought me some records back in the day, because my grandma bought me this all-in-one record player that was kind of like a, really budget one, whatever. So I've got the Pixies and some Grateful Dead, which are kind of cool, and some Stevie Ray Vaughan, but I don't really care about classic rock much anymore, so I don't care about that, but I do like the Pixies. So that was neat. And, so I had some records to play, right? But I'm like, well, I should buy at least one when I go and get this player, because the player wasn't super expensive. So they had just had Record Store Day, or they had Black Friday special stuff, like, not too long ago. So they had a whole bunch of stock left over from that. And they had some cool albums that were like Record Store Day only deals. So one of those was one I was gonna get, which was a picture record of the soundtrack to Mortal Kombat, the original one. Because I think I have the soundtrack to Mortal Kombat Annihilation on CD, but not the first one. And I like the first one pretty well. But it was a big-ass record with the dragon logo on there, and it was cool as hell. But then I'm looking around, because I forgot that, 2/3 of the other store has... the other 2/3 of the store has records as well. So I'm checking those out, and I found it just got released. It's a special import double LP of the Smashing Pumpkins, and it was all acoustic. It was a collection of all their acoustic songs. And the reason that it was from the UK is because I guess the record store guy was telling me they have different copyright laws there. And it's like if something was on the radio, you can legally, I guess, just package it and sell it, which seems dubious at best to me, but I don't care. So I bought this double LP, and it's just super cool, and it sounds great. I was super impressed of how good it sounds on my system, so I was really happy with that. And then I also got a record by what's her name? Nancy Sinatra, because what was it? Lana Del Rey once said, like, she thinks of herself as a badass, not Nancy Sinatra, which I think is fair. If you've ever heard of, like, if you heard Boots. Yeah, we're going to World 8 now. If you ever heard Boots, like, that's a great song, and it's got some kick-assery to it, so I've been trying to find more of her songs like that, but they aren't, because apparently back in the day, it was just kind of custom and the norm to go and do covers of standards and stuff, and so most of what I've heard has been that, so I was like, well, I'll pick up this album. But this album I didn't see was a country album, so it's like Nancy Sinatra does country. But I've listened to, what was it, 1 or 2 songs so far, just to make sure that it worked. I threw it on there. And I'm not a big fan of country. I like 90s country, because that's the country I grew up with, and that was the music I listened to. When it wasn't golden oldies, I listened to 90s country. But yeah, otherwise I'm not a big fan of country, but I was okay with her stuff so far, so I'm kind of excited to listen to the rest of it, actually. I'm willing to give it a chance, you know? It sounds weird. I don't think high school Zach would have been totally cool with that, trying to adamantly deny that I ever liked country, but you know what? I don't care. I'll say it right now. I like John Michael Montgomery. I like Travis Tritt. I like Alan Jackson's music to an extent, but I've heard he's a dick, so I don't know if I really like him or not. I don't know. John Michael Montgomery, I think, was my favorite country guy. He was pretty good. And then, of course, I like Garth Brooks. Everybody likes Garth Brooks. He's a good guy. I think he's a good artist, and he's talented, and he actually seems like a decent guy. Like, I saw him on SNL when he hosted on SNL, and it was just, he did a really good job. He seems like a really cool guy. Like when he got the guitar from the devil or whatever, and it's like, it was forged in the bowels of hell. Like, really? Nah, it's a Fender. It's like, I don't think you know how to play this thing. It's like, just wait. I know how to play the guitar. It's cool. Just hang on. It's like Will Ferrell trying to play a song, and he's terrible at it. I don't know. Anyway, so now I'm on the lookout for cool, like, rarities, but also, so my favorite band, I have come to realize, is Curve, which I think I have said that before. Maybe not. But Curve is my favorite band. And a lot of their stuff came out on vinyl back in the 90s, so I've been trying to scoop up some of that. In fact, today, I went and looked, and I went and bought 2 of their albums. They're real early albums. They're like EPs, or, I don't think they were singles, but I got, one of them's an EP. It's called the Frozen EP, and then I also got the Blindfold, I think it's a Frozen EP. I got the Blindfold EP, where it's a picture of some lady with 3 monkeys on the front, dressed up all weird. But that's got one of my favorite songs by them on there, which is No Escape from Heaven. Which, there's a story I should tell, too. I should slow my ass down talking about all this stuff. I always keep figuring like I gotta tell everything in one frickin' episode, but we got a few episodes to go on this, so I'm just gonna take it easy. It's the comfy run after a while, all right. Let's slow down. Smoke a joint, guys. Just chill. You guys chillin' will make me chill. So I ordered these albums, and they were super cheap. One came from the UK. Even with shipping, I think it was like $12. And that's including the shipping. I think it was like $6 for the CD, or the vinyl, and then like $8 to ship it over. So I guess 14, what did I say, 6 and 8? Whatever that comes out to be. So that was cool. And then Frozen, I think, was 10 with $10 shipping, so I paid like $30 for 2 albums like that. But I had to go and buy, I was like $3 short of this seller's minimum, so that was dumb. So I ended up buying, I bought another record, which ended up being $8. That's right, because the Frozen was $3, and then I bought another record, which was $8 to make it so I got like the minimum. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was a weird one. It wasn't one I was looking for. Oh, no, it was Soft Cell. And the reason I got it, you're going to think, I know what you're thinking. You're going to think that, Zach, hey, did you really play this game when you were younger? The answer is yes. But, you know, what you're probably thinking is that I got that album because of Tainted Love. And Tainted Love is on that, it's a single. It's only a 2-track LP. And Tainted Love is on that, but that's not the reason why I got it. The reason why I got it is for the B-side, which is, if I remember, it's a cover, right? Because I think the original is from the 60s, but it's Where Did Our Love Go? If you haven't heard that song, check it out, because they do a killer cover of it. It's so good. I'm pretty sure that was an original from the 60s, and then they did their 80s synth version, but it's so good. So I'm like, okay, well, I can spend $8 on that to get this $3 Curve one, so I'm psyched about that. But what was I gonna? There was something. What was the thing I mentioned before where I was gonna tell you the story about it? I have to go back and listen to it again. One of the other things I was gonna say is that record player my grandma got is a death machine. I'd be wondering how a record player is a death machine, but here's the thing. So this was an all-in-one, and it was one that I'm pretty sure she ordered out of a catalog. So I think she probably paid, I'm gonna ballpark $40 tops. I'm gonna say probably 30. And so it's got a CD player, tape player, It's got a really cool radio. It's like one of those old style looking tube radios where it like glows, and you don't go left to right with the tuning, with the frequency, or up or down. It spins like an old style one. So that's really cool. The problem is quality is, sorry grandma, not very good, because even when I owned it like for I think a month, the record player, the motor already got messed up and it couldn't play at the right speed. So, are you freaking kidding me? So like it would play all my music either just, I think it was a little bit too slow, and that just wasn't cool. So I'm like, whatever, I'll use it for the radio, which is kind of what I ended up doing. But then I'm like, oh yeah, it had a CD player in it too. And it had a tape player. Well, I don't have a lot of cassette, tapes around anymore. I still have my Chuck Berry one, which I think I just about wore out. But so I was playing CDs on there, and the thing is, any normal freaking sane CD player, if it's playing in the middle of a song and you hit eject, what would you expect a CD player to do? You'd expect it to stop and then eject the CD. Not so with this player. What happens is it just ejects it without stopping the mechanism whatsoever. So it's like a shuriken flying out of the drive. And I'm sure it's going at, I don't know how many RPMs. It's just cruising. It's like a saw blade when it comes out. And so you'd open it and just like the tray would have to slow it down because it would just drop it on there. So sometimes it would come out bouncing out of the tray. Like not out of the tray itself, but it would come it'd be bouncing around on the tray, I should say. And it's just a death machine if you didn't know that it was going to do that. But what's funny is after a while, the record player actually did kind of work again. So I don't know what the situation was there. Like it was broken because of its own devices. And then eventually it just came back to being good again. And it's like, maybe that could be a voltage thing, but we had brand new wiring where I was using it at. And it's just, I don't know what the deal was. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, the thing was just crazy though. But so, yeah, now I got this new record player and it's really great. It's not bad at all. I'm gonna try to remember what the heck it was I'm gonna go back and listen once I get done with this episode and listen to see what the heck it was I was talking about. Because I don't know. I don't remember there was a story I was gonna tell and I don't remember what it was now. This is probably a mistake. Shit. So this is, you're gonna probably be asking yourself too, like, well, Zach, you said that this is really tough for you. You're making it through though. And it's like, I am making it through. The part that gets tough for me is when it gets to be all dark in the next part of this world. I have never, ever gotten past all of the stuff that's a trap. I have never gotten past all of the different worlds up in the next part of this section. But I tell you what, we're going to give it the college try, which is to get a giant keg and party naked. And I'm already part of the way there. Actually, I'm not. I have all my clothes on. I lied. If anybody at home wants to get naked and get drunk, please feel free to do so. With my blessing. Shit. I've got some... Oh wait, no, we are in... I don't even know what I'm doing. So this is the part that I'm talking about. It is these worlds. These are the worlds that I've never gotten past. I think I've gotten halfway through. Maybe. And the thing that sucks is when... If I remember right, if you die and have to use a continue, you start back... I think you have to go back through all of the... what is it? All those hand worlds? I think? I'm not sure. We'll probably find out, quite honestly. I know when I saw... What inspired me to go back and redo this one is because I've always kind of... I mean, like, it's a pretty easy game for the most part, right? To go through, and it's fun to go through and fun to talk about, and everybody knows it. But I was watching Capri-Sun, and he was doing the Stupoid run, and I was like, I kind of want to do that. And so when I was watching him do the last castle, I don't think the last castle looks particularly tough. I don't think the last fight by any means looks very difficult. This, right there, that sucker. I can never get those to work. Anyway, we'll come back. I'll keep talking about how I'm stealing everything that I do from Capri Sun, I guess. I don't know. That's probably not the case, but we'll see in the next one.